I worship you. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. You have reached Gilbert Franklin and Source of Information. And welcome. As always, you could always reach me at 954-667-4885. We are on live on WSRF 1580 AM. So we recommend that you go and on YouTube. We're live on YouTube and Facebook, and type WSRF 1580 AM and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook Live. All right, what we're going to discuss today is simply, the effect that the shutdown is having on seniors. It's having effect in the other demographic, but we're mainly going to concentrate on seniors because our senior population is really are hurting. And, they depend on food, on SNAP, as they call it. Another word that for most of you is food stamp. And our seniors really depend on food stamp. And we're gonna touch in a little bit in politics because what's happening is the result of your voting, the way you voted, and that's what you're seeing right now, and the repercussion of your vote. And that's not the title. We're not going to do a big talk about that. But a lot of that the way you voted back in November has a lot to do with what's happening now, if we're going to be honest with one another. You have, you have over, I don't have the exact number, so I'm not going to quote a number that I'm not certain about. But there's a large population of seniors that are receiving SNAP benefits. And this November, this month, they will not receive their benefits. Now the question is, what are they going to do? And are they going to food banks to be able to survive for this month until these politicians decided to do something about it? There's two federal judges that actually told this current administration to take funds from other accounts. I'll put it this way, to take care of the food to let me see. I'm trying to put it in a very simple word for you guys and not be too complicated about it. But they basically trying to get take funds from one area to fund the food the SNAP benefits, so that the millions and millions of SNAP recipients could receive their benefit this month. Obviously, that's not happening, and so if you someone who get food stamps, and I've already received a call this morning about it, for the month of November, you will not be receiving any food stamp benefits. I had announced that last week, and I didn't foresee any change. And although I was hopeful that after the judge ruling, there would be some movement. Unfortunately, we didn't see any movement. I was expecting to see some movement, and it's very sad, but that's exactly what's happening. This shutdown is also affecting other areas. There's a slowdown in processing application for retirement. Because what they have done, they're reducing the workflow in that particular in Social Security, so you have less people working to process those applications. And if you already have an application that's pending, you know, it's going to take even longer for them to finish that process. I was just talking to someone, and um, this particular individual was showing me that uh, on the website, the length of time that it's taken for a process to process a particular application. Now, there's certain services that's not available. You cannot go to Social Security and ask them for a benefits report. You cannot go to Social Security and said you would like to replace your Medicare card if you lost it. Those services, however, you could get them online. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. We're going to basically get into Medicare in a little bit because I don't want you guys to forget that we are in what we call the annual enrollment period. And there's no one that's willing to come on air to talk about it because of the Medicare restriction. But I basically could talk about it a bit with you in a little while. Let's finish with the topic of the shutdown. If you have any question, you could call right now at 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580 regarding what's happening. And if you have a question about when you're going to receive your SNAP benefit, I don't have an answer for that because Democrat and Republican alike, they're fighting or lack of any communication to do something about it. And meanwhile, they are able to eat, they are able to feed their family, and yet our seniors may be in a difficult process. Now, for those of you who have a flex card from the insurance company, and those of you that has a Medicaid, I think one of the plan, at least the one of the plan that we take at Alto Health, have $200 on there that you could use. I believe you could use it in Winn-Dixie, Publix, CVS, Sedano's. Those are the 4 places I could remember. There's other places on there, but those are the first 4 places that's more commonly known by you. And so in your areas, I'm sure most of you guys in your area have a CVS or a Publix in your area, so you could use the card, and you don't need a PIN. I had someone that called me earlier, and they were talking about you needing a PIN. You don't need a PIN when you use that card. Okay, so simply you could go when Dixie or CVS, swipe your card. It's just like a credit card. You swipe it, and then you will. I'm trying to figure this camera here. Not the best spot, but which one is it? Okay, so I could cater to it. Yes, so CVS and Winn-Dixie, you could go use it just like a credit card. You swipe it, and then you purchase. I would suggest that when you go, purchase for the full amount, and when you come back the following month, you could do the same as well. Now that amount for at least some of the plans that we take at Alto Health, that amount is set to increase in January as well. Um, a lot of things will be happening in January. For example, the increase of 2.8%. We'll talk a little bit about that later on. Um, and that's something that you should be expecting to see an increase in your Social Security starting next month. And no, the shutdown, if it continue to go on, it will not affect your increase. It will not affect your check. And the reason for that is Social Security has a different account, a different fund, so that that money from the Social Security benefits payments goes directly into that fund, and it does not mix with the other government funds. So that money is secure there. Basically, whatever the the workers, the current workers are paying now, that's the money that they use to that goes into that fund, and in a lot of cases they borrow from it. A lot of cases they borrow from that fund to pay tax cut, for example. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully that a few people come put their heads together and find a solution so that this shutdown could be done sooner than later. Okay? Now, let's talk a bit. I'm throwing a lot of information at you in a very short period of time. I apologize for that. But let's talk a little bit about Medicare. There was a gentleman that while I happened to turn on my TV, and he was very eloquent on this station, that he was talking about Medicare, the different parts of Medicare, and I'm glad to see there's another person that's making the attempt to bring you the right information. Um, but let's make sure that you are getting the right information about Medicare. Now, first of all, what is Medicare? Medicare is a federal government program, or a federal government health insurance program that is funded by you, the the worker. It's funded by you. Basically, when you work, you they take 6.5% from your paycheck, and your employer also match the 6.5. So there's 13% of contribution that goes every time that you get paid. So 13% of whatever you get paid, 6.5% of what you get paid comes out, and your employer match it another 6.5, which is 13%, so that over the year that you could accumulate a certain amount. So upon retirement, that you will be receiving an amount on a monthly basis to sustain your lifestyle, if you want to make call, but just to sustain your life, not a particular lifestyle. Because if I say a lifestyle, then I'll be inaccurate, because a lot of people what they're receiving may not be enough to really sustain them, but they have to do what they have. So along with Medicare, you do get the retirement benefits, and it also comes with a spousal benefits. So the spousal benefits, in term, what it does is take care of, if you have a spouse that did not have or did not work to have a sufficient quota to be eligible for retirement benefit, that spouse could get benefits through you. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580 if you have any questions. So there's other benefits that comes along with that. You have survival benefits. Because you've worked and have 40 quarters, then automatically, if something were to happen to you, your spouse and your children will be entitled to survival benefits. If you have a child that's under the age of 16, you could receive a child care benefits for that particular individual. And by the way, you guys, if you guys are too shy to call, I have my phone right in front of me. If you send me a text message, with pleasure, I will call you guys. I will read the text and answer your questions, whether it's in Creole or in English. So you could also text me at 954-667-4885, 954-667-4885, or call on 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. Either way, let me hear from you. So we'll be happy to take your question. So we're talking about the different benefits that you are getting from retirement benefits. We mentioned, first of all, your retirement as a worker that you're contributing to the Social Security. With that come with spousal benefits for your spouse, survival benefits that your surviving family could enjoy. So you're not, the word that I'm trying to use, when your time is up, for lack of a better word, if you were to die, then we are afraid to use that word for some reason, whether for other quite a few reasons. But if you were to die, what's going to happen is that the fact that you have more than 40 quarters there that you worked, your family is able to receive a certain amount on a monthly basis for a period of time. There's child care benefits there as well, that your kids will be able to receive that amount up until the age of 16. And if they're still in lower grade classes, up until the age of 18. In other words, if they didn't graduate high school and they still up until the age of 18, they're still there, then yes, they will continue to receive that payment. Social Security benefits, I believe that was one of the best best law that they came out with, because it's able to cover you as a whole when you become the most vulnerable. And you see, there's a greater percentage of American or U.S. citizens that's depending on a check from Social Security on a monthly basis. And that's one area that no politician, they'll talk about it, but they won't do anything about it. Because the impact that they will have on them and every retiree will be catastrophic if something were to happen to any, whether it's Social Security or Medicare or even Medicaid. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. So The other area is the fact that you're able to receive a retirement benefits, then automatically you're eligible to receive Medicare. Medicare by itself, there's different parts. So right now we are at what we call an annual open enrollment period, and that facilitate any individual who is not able to join a new plan or join a plan, whether that they'd allow the time allow for them to um, get on a plan, and now when the time expired, then nonetheless there's a special enrollment period for you. You cannot get on a Medicare Advantage plan. So right now, this is the time that from December 7th, October 7th to October 15th to December 7th, I'm getting it backward, is the time for you to join. Now, you probably will receive a booklet from Medicare. It says 2006 Medicare and you, and I suggest if you can read that book, get some information from it. Most people really it serves as something that most people get and put it there because there's a lot of good information in there, but there's a lot of pages as well. One of the things that you will find in the back of the page, the different plan that the Medicare Advantage plan comes out with. So you could literally go there and make comparison. It's tedious. The easiest thing is sit down with a broker and have them compare a plan with you. Ask them questions. If you call me, we could always refer someone to you at 954-667-4885. And they could sit down with you and compare benefits with you. Now, there's a different plan that's available out there. What you have to be careful about is the one you pick. The Medicare Advantage plan. The Medicare Advantage plan is, first of all, there's no cost for it. And the first suggestion that I have is that if you're new to Medicare, then you need to sit down and get a proper course on the best way to use your Medicare Advantage plan and how you're going to benefit from the Medicare Advantage plan. Now, maybe that's something that we should cover now, because with your Medicare Advantage plan and your doctor's visit is zero, on certain cases that so your specialist visit, the copayment may be $0 to $15 depending on the plan that you have. In certain cases, emergency visit, I see some cases it's $0, some cases it's $25, and that's only if you don't stay in a hospital. I'm sorry, that's only if they don't keep you in the hospital. And I like to think that they use that to prevent you from going to the emergency room with just for a very simple thing that could be addressed in an urgent care. So your plan also cover urgent care and other added benefits. Now, your Medicare by itself does not cover you for dental, vision, and hearing. So you need the Medicare Advantage plan so you could get coverage for those three items. Your Medicare does not cover transportation, but the Medicare Advantage plan covers you for transportation. The center or the clinic itself provide transportation, but not all clinics provide transportation. In fact, what you have seen in 2025, there's a lot of clinics, the large clinics are trying to get away from the transportation business. In most cases, we are trying to embrace it because we understand that our seniors do not are not comfortable with riding ride sharing because one, they don't know the individual that's driving them, and the individual that's driving them, there's certain services that the the driver at the center is willing to do, and that that individual in the ride sharing is not going to do that. For example, they're not going to get down from get out of their car to open the door for you. If you have a wheelchair, to take the wheelchair from you and put it away in the trunk. So there's a lot of things that they were not willing to do, and that's why our seniors have a lot of issue with the Uber and the Lyft. But there's other benefits that the Medicare Advantage plan provide. For example, the flex card that we're talking about, where they actually put a certain amount of money on a card for you, which you could use to buy food. And right now, I think this month it couldn't come out any better any better time than this month, because this month you guys will not be receiving your food stamp card, but the flex card, the deposit will be there for you to go food shopping. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. So let's sit down, and especially like we usually say, 3 months before you turn 65, it's the perfect time for you to sit down with someone, get educated about the next step in your life, which going to require for you to have a lot of knowledge about what you're going to do, which plan you're going to take. Now, there's some plan that you may think is compatible for you, may not. So that's why you need to sit with someone who's knowledgeable. What does the Part A cover? What does the Part B cover? Do you have Part C? Yes, you do. I had a gentleman that I was talking with, and he's been on Medicare for a long time. And those are the things that he was not aware that he had. I said, yes, you have Part A. Yes, you have Part B and C and D. So be knowledgeable about Medicare. Take the time to ask questions. And the reason you have an agent, and that agent, believe it or not, in certain cases, they're getting a residual for taking care of you, the fact that you stay in the plan. And the fact that you stay in the plan, can I put my daughter on just to say hello to her? Hi, Chloe. You on the air?
Hi, everyone.
what what would apparently you're in traffic? What would you like to say to everyone that's listening to you?
Um, I would like to say hello and hope everyone's having an amazing day.
All right, we're looking forward to see you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right,
All right, bye.
bye. Okay, those of you, a lot of you who knows me, you've heard me talk about my daughters, and that was one of them. So she's coming to town tomorrow. So anyway, enough about my daughter. Um, oh, I forgot what I was talking about. So yes, you need to be educated about your Medicare. No doubt about it. You need to know what covers what you cover. What's the best way you could use it, and your agent is your best source of getting that information from. Now, everyone in the in Alto, every members that's in Alto, they have someone. They know that they could come to us and ask questions about their plan. I was talking about, yes, the gentleman that's been in Medicare for at least over a decade, and he's still not sure whether he has Part A and Part B or Part C or Part D. And you have as long that you have a Medicare card, you have Part A, you have Part B, and Part C. So don't don't listen to the hype. People that are calling you, and you are getting a lot of calls right now. I think the famous one that I've heard was people are calling, especially my members. They are calling them to tell them that they have an appointment, and it's I'm dumbfounded by the length that some people would go to what's the word that I could use to steal patient and tell them that they have an appointment when the patient is not in their center, or ask them for information, calling them for information and trying to get their social security, and or just get them to say yes for them to change on plan. It's so you have to be very careful about that. You have to be very careful during this time, that you're not changed to a different plan without your knowledge. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. The other item that we want to cover for you is we cover the flex card. The flex card is very important. That you and those of you who have a flex card, find out from your agent where you could go shopping with it. And it may not be every single one of you have a flex card, but find out from your agent whether you have a flex card and how much that's on it. And use whatever the amount that's on it, use the full amount on a monthly basis. Because if you don't use it, you lose it. Now, I suggest that every one of you guys go on YouTube channel on WSRF 1580 AM and subscribe so that you could always get this information on a weekly basis. So, for example, right now we're live on YouTube and Facebook. So you could get this information on a monthly basis. So again, the number to call, 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580, with your questions, okay? Um, let's let's talk about supplemental benefit. There's another benefit that works with your Medicare is what they call, and we're going to discuss two plans. We're going to talk about PPOs and we're going to talk about supplement. But we're going to take supplement first, and then we'll talk about PPOs. A supplement is a plan that approved by um, Medicare or CMS, Center of Medicare and Medicaid. So the supplement plan is a plan that you could use with your along with your Medicare. That's going to give you additional coverage. Now, the difference with a supplement now, you have to pay for it. The payment for the supplement comes. It could be depending on um, your needs. It could be anywhere from 200 to 300 and up on a monthly basis. And then you still have to get a Part D plan, and also you still have to pay for your Part B premium. So when all said and done, you paying about an additional 4, 5, maybe $600 on a monthly basis. And as you get older, that premium increased. In my lifetime, I had the honor and the privilege to sell one of those, and I was not what's the word? Not really. I was green. I was very green, and still I managed to sell it. I got some counseling from a gentleman that was our broker at the time, but that policy didn't last too long because once you find out that yes, the following year it's going to go up, the only positive about it's portable. So if you're in New York, for example, you could go to a doctor, and of course you'll have a copayment, but they'll take it. And when you back down to South Florida, you could go to your doctor, and they'll take it. But other than that, there's no benefits of having a supplement. Now, I'm sure if I bring someone here that their job is to sell supplement, they may have a different take on it. And we'll welcome that if anybody that's listening have a different take on supplement and want to share their view, I would love to hear from you. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. I'll put you on right now. Free advertisement. But when you compare the supplement with a Medicare Advantage plan, there's really not that much comparison. Now let's talk about a PPO. A PPO, and nowadays there's different level of PPOs. And a PPO is what it does basically is sort of like a supplement, but except it falls under the category of a Medicare Advantage plan. Where remember when I tell you that when you have a plan, when you are in a plan, and the insurance company is giving you something, they give you something on the right hand and they take it on the left hand. So what happened is very simple. What happened, they, for example, you're not paying zero for the PPO, but now the benefit that you receive, it reduce those benefits are reduced. You have co-payments, but you have the luxury when you if you buy coastal or if 6 months out of the year you're in New York and 6 months out of the year you're in South Florida, then you could go to a doctor that accept the PPO in New York. When you're there, you could use it, and when you're in South Florida, go to your doctor in South Florida. So therefore, wherever you are, you're able to see a doctor. But there's a copayment for this, there's a copayment for that, and the it's in the details of those benefits. That's where you see the difference. And in actuality, the Medicare Advantage plan as well. What you could do is basically instead of you could go to any urgent care and present your card and be able to be seen. The only difference is that they'll let you know that you have to follow up with your doctor, your primary care. And one thing that I failed to mention that with the supplement, and I believe the same thing with the PPO, you don't need authorization for you to go see a doctor or a specialist. Those are the advantages that the Medicare Advantage plan has, and I'm sorry, those are the advantages that the supplement and the PPO has that the Medicare Advantage plan, the regular plan, doesn't have. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. For some reason, you guys are afraid to call during this hour. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and channel WSR at 1580 AM. We would love to hear from you. And not only this show, but every show that whenever we are on, they will automatically send that show to you. So PPO versus supplement. The only difference between the two, the PPO you're not paying for it, but the supplement you are. And both you still have to pay for your Part B premium. So sit down. Right now, I think it's a good time for you to sit down with your broker and find out what plans that you have. And if you're in Alto, just swing by and see Suzella, and she'll tell you what change, that if there's any change. And in most cases, you may not need to do any change whatsoever. You keep your plan just the way it is. There's some wonderful changes that's made with Solis Health Plan that you definitely might want to question about it, especially if you have I believe the chronic plan. There's some great change that's made for 2026. Wow, I'm okay. I'm going there. There's some great change that's made for 2026. I believe that, if memory serves, that there's some major change that's going to happen for and part of prescription drugs and part of the flex card as well. Okay. So ask questions, and I'm sure that you guys are going to be very, very, very enlightened about some of the information that's coming out for 2026. Okay. Now, there's a few birthdays that's coming up, and we had a young lady that serenaded us on this event that we had on Friday. I wish I could get her. I wish I had her authorization to bring her on air and sing for us, but hopefully we could do this next week if after I talk with her and then see if she's willing to come in and serenade us on air. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. Let me hear one person about I would like to hear from one person. We don't have time to take too many calls, but one call I would like to hear from you. Let me know whether it's about the food stamp and the that how is it going? How are you doing in terms of how is impacting you this month? Or let me hear from you regarding what you've heard about the benefits that we talked about. If you have any questions about them. So 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. Let me discuss a little bit about SSI. I think it's always good for us to add SSI in there as one of the benefits from Social Security. Oh, no, before we get into SSI, let me remind you that, yes, every one of you will be getting an increase of 2.8% starting January 1st. Okay? So we don't have the time to calculate how much the 2.8% for you, how much is going to represent, but we could do a very quick math. If you're getting $1,000, you will be getting $28. If you're getting $2,000, you will be getting $56. If you're getting $3,000, you will be getting $84 of increase. So, and I think that even got $84. So we gave you the I guess we picked an amount that you may fall underneath that amount or above that amount. But if you fall above that amount, you're going to get a little bit more than what we said. Okay? During the week, you could call me for more information, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Oh, we recommend if you have a friend that you know that's reached the age of Medicare, please pass my phone number to them, and so we'll be happy to not only help them but answer their questions. We know that it's 3 months before for you to apply for your Social Security benefits or especially Medicare, so you do not get penalized for not having benefits on time. It is yes, they will penalize you if you didn't apply on time. That's why we suggest to everyone that to do it 3 months before, so they could have all the information that they need. Especially right now during the shutdown, I think it's proven to be more important to do it the time that they ask, because imagine if you had wait till the month you're going to turn 65 to apply, then you probably won't receive your benefits till about 2 to 3 months later. Because what's happening that because of this, you're getting about over 10,000 applications per day. And $10,000, that's a very conservative number. So it takes some time to process those applications. And now that they have probably half the amount of people working, it's taking them twice the time than normal for them to process your application. So we suggest do it 3 months before and allow allow them to do their due diligence to process your application so you could start receiving your benefit. 954-667-4885, 954-667-4885. That's the number to call so that you can get the right information. Now, there's some people out there that I believe hearing from them, they are doing they have done their work, study, so to get the information to share it with you. And I'm glad more and more people are coming forth and to do that work. So again, around this time, this is the time for you to get information, not necessarily change your plan, but get information because you will be getting a lot of phone calls from individuals. Certain individual will be stopping at your house, uninvited. All that, it's illegal. Nobody should be coming to your house and trying to persuade you or trying to change your plan without your knowledge. Because once your information goes in the hand of an individual, then it's with them for the rest of your life. And so be very careful how you who and how you share your information. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. I guess it's almost that time. So if you haven't called, I don't think we'll have enough time to answer your question because we have to get ready for the next show. It's been a pleasure to be here with you today. And my fellow Scorpios, happy birthday. Enjoy your birthday safely. And may God continue to bless you and protect you. Again, my name is Gilbert Franklin. You could always reach me at 954-667-4885, 954-667-4885. If someone join where Joseph Telfo fait connaît moi en air m'pa répondre kounya puis l'aime fini après émission après l'île. Oui, 954-667-4885, 954-667-4885. Mes amis, c'est un plaisir pour moi. I love you guys. À bientôt. Bye bye.
I worship you.